Hey Legends, we're going to jump straight into this build today. I decided to build an Oden deck, EB01. It releases Friday, or has released by the time this video has dropped. So this is my deck profile, deck breakdown. There will be gameplay after this, so be sure to stick around, check it out. I think this deck is going to be very good. So Oden's ability is actually a little bit broken. So according to the rules, your character cards with type Land of Wano without counterpower have 1000 counterpower. So anything with no counterpower in this deck becomes plus 1000 counterpower. Don times 1 when attacking, if you have a cost 5 or greater Land of Wano character in play, this leader gets plus 1000 power until the start of your next turn. So not only do you get non-counter become counter, you get plus 1000. So instead of being a 5k, here's a 6k every turn as long as you have a 5 cost on board and a Don underneath him when he's attacking. So this is actually pretty decent. So jump straight into it. Got 4 Izzo. Izzo's actually pretty solid. On play, attach up to 1 rested Don to your leader or one of your characters. When opponent is attacking once per turn, you may trash 1 card from your hand. If your leader has the Land of Wano or White Beard Pirates type, give up to one of your opponent's leaders or characters minus 2000 power during this turn. So this can really stuff up the opponent's gameplay. I absolutely like this card. I think this card's really good. So being a non-counter, it does get 1000 power as well due to the leader. We have 4 of the Yamato 2k counter, activate main once per turn, give up to 1 rested Don card to your leader or one of your characters. So it's still really good. Every turn you can give a rested Don to a leader or character. I'd probably put it on lead because you only need minimum of 1 Don on lead to activate the ability of it being an extra 1000 power. We have 4 Otama's 2k counter, give up to one of your opponent's characters minus 2000 power during this turn. It isn't on play. This card's been obviously an OP01, so everyone knows what this card does. Now we have another new card, it's EB01. We run 4 of these. It's a 1000 counter power. Activate main, you may place this card into your trash. Place up to one cost 5 or less Land of Wano type characters other than Hiyori, Kozuki or Hiyori. Sorry about that. From your hand into play, then draw 1 card. So this is actually pretty decent. You're not only for 4 Don, trashing that card to play at a 5 cost or less, right? But you're also drawing 1 card. So you're not losing a card out of hand technically. We run 4 Izzo. Izzo's a 2k counter, absolutely good card to have in a deck. On play, rest up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 4 or less. Now, with black, there is Borsalino. He's a pain, right? He's the biggest pain for black. You play out Izzo, you can rest him, you can attack into him, attack past him into lead, however you want to play it. But you can rest Borsalino with this card and Rebecca as well. That's why I like this card. This card's actually pretty decent. 2k counter also, so either way it still works. I decided to run 2 Okiku. So this one's a non-counter, so it gets plus 1000 counter. Attach 1 Don when attacking once per turn, rest up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 5 or less. Now, I'd like to go to 4, but I do know that it does become a target. As soon as it hits the board, it's a target. Just like Nico Robin was back in OP01, it is a target. So I run 2. Don't really need to use it, but if I do get it in hand and there is a situation where I need to rest like a Sabo blocker or something and I know it's going to stick to board, I'll play it out. I run 4 Momos. Momos is much needed in this deck. It's a Land of Wano deck, so you want to be searching everything you can to help fill your hand up more. Here's a 1 cost, you tap 1 Don, activate main, you may rest this character, look at the top 5 cards from the top of your deck, reveal up to 1 Wano country type card and add it to your hand, then place the rest at the bottom of the deck in any order. So it's still really decent. So I'll run 4 of them. I decided to run 4 of these, not that I've really used it much at the moment. Here's a 5 cost, Don plus 1. or Don times 1, I should say. When attacking, if your leader is Kozuki Oden, set up to 2 of your Don as active. So it can be pretty viable. Just say if you don't have any Don left, because you paid it to play something out, you can attack with him with 1 Don underneath, which you can also get from either EB01 play or from Yamato's activate main ability. And you can place a Don under him, attack, get 2 Don back, then put it under lead if that's where you want to put it, and attack with lead, so you still get your 1000 buff. So I think it is a viable card to have in the deck. And it does get 1000 counter power, so it's not the worst card. I decided to put 2 Yamato double attack banishes in because it is a counter. It does put pressure on the board, being that it is a double attack banish card. It doesn't need any Don underneath it. It's a 5 cost, 5k power. So I decided to put 2 of them in there just to put pressure on. Now this card is absolutely insane. This is Kozuki Oden. He's an 8 cost. Activate main once per turn. You can tap 3 Don to set this character as active. So you get 2 swings. Now if you get 2 of these on board, you can end up with 4 swings out of 2 characters if you can get it to work. On KO, play up to 1 Wano country type character card with a cost of 3 from your deck, then shuffle your deck. So you'll be mostly looking at probably Izzo, Akiku, or Cat Viper would be the 3 that obviously the only ones you can play. So a blocker, on play rest, or when attacking rest a character. So it's not too bad. It's not completely dead. And even though it doesn't have any counter power, because of this deck, it gains 1000 counter power. So I decided to put 4 Cat Viper in, which is Neko Mamanushi. I think that's how you say it properly. Hopefully I said it properly. Sorry if I didn't. He's just a straight out blocker, so he will gain 1000 power because he's a non-counter card. Yamato, this is actually not too bad. I like this card. When it says this card's name is also treated as Kozuki Oden, there is a card in one of the sets that states that it becomes a blocker when there is a Kozuki Oden on board. So that's why some of the Yamato cards will say that. I'm pretty sure the Banish one says it too, yeah. So its on-play ability is rest up to one of your opponent's characters with a 6 cost or less. So this one's probably more viable than Akiku to have, but to still just have 2 Akiku in the deck just in case is still good enough. You can still play it off Oden being KO'd. So yeah, I put 4 of this in the deck. It is an on-counter. It does get 1000 counter power. I decided to get cheeky and put 2 of these in there. So Haughty Jones is an insane card. Yes, you take a life when you play it. So the on-players rest up to a total of 2 of your characters or Don, then put the top of your life into your hand, or top of your life card into your hand, and he is a rush. So the combinations of this is you play it out. You can rest straight up 2 characters, or 2 Don, or 1 character and 1 Don. So you can't rest 4 in total, you can only rest 2, so you got to pick. So I think this is really good for close to endgame. I wouldn't be playing it out willy-nilly. I do run it in another deck as well, and it is a solid card because no one sees it coming. I decided to put 2 Radical Beam in just because it is red-green, so you can actually play it. Everyone knows what Radical Beam does. Pretty much, one of your leaders or characters gains 2000 power. If you're at 2 life or less, it gains an additional 2000 power during the battle. So there is a lot of event cards out there that are counter that will say either battle or the turn. As you can see with the trigger, your leader or up to one of your characters gains 1000 power during the battle, which means it stays there until the end of your opponent's turn. I decided to put in a 1 cost Wano event, rest up to one of your opponent's characters with a 4 cost or less, trigger, K up to one of your opponent's rested characters with 3 costs or less. So it can be searched. So pretty much majority of this deck can be searched off Momonosuke. I was thinking about putting the green Otama searcher in, but it can only search green Wano, which kind of makes it a bit dicey in case, you search your deck, you get a red, you can't take it. There is 3 lots of red characters in the deck, and it'd be such a disappointment if you hit the red, you need that card, and you put it to the bottom of your deck. So I decided to stay with the green. So this is the deck, guys. I'm going to jump over and show you some gameplay. Alright guys, we're going up against red, yellow Sabo from ST13. I think I'm going to keep this hand. Draw. Play out Momo and end turn. So Oden's leader, according to the rules, your character cards with the type Land of Wano without counter have plus 1000 counter. One Dom, when attacking, if you have a 5 cost or greater Land of Wano character in play, this character gains 1000 power until the start of your next turn. So I think this is a pretty solid leader in my opinion. Definitely decent. We might take little Yamato and then we'll attack for 7. So I think Oden might be getting played a lot during EB01, I believe. It's a decent card. They triggered a Satori, so this could be interesting. This is the only thing I worry about going against a yellow, like a deck with yellow in it, that there is triggers. Especially with Sabo, because he's Revolutionary Army as well. There is red triggers also. So 5 into 0. That's fine. So we're at 5. So we can play that out, attach 1 Don, go to 7. I think that's the play. Try and not let our life get down too quick. Draw, draw. 7 into 5. End turn. So also with Izzo is actually pretty decent. You trash 1 character from your hand if your leader has Land of Wano or Whitebeard's types. Give up to one of your opponent's leaders or characters minus 2000 power during the turn. So we're going to like minus it off here because they'll put that back to life. So we need to trash. Oh, this is hard. I think I'll trash that, minus that. No block, resolve. That means he can't put it to life. So we can't use the ability of Sabo to place it back to life to give him a buff of 2000. So I've just ruined that play turn. Draw. Okay, so we'll bring out another Momo. Play out that to trash that to play at a 5 cost at the moment probably isn't needed. Rest. That's probably a good one. Okay. So we will attack 7 here. Drop a Kiku. Select. I mean, drop Izzo, sorry, not a Kiku. And swing 8 into there. So that's 2 rushes we got off board. And we're buffed up to 6k. That was an interesting move. Because I'm going to trash a card and minus 2000 off that. No block. So 7 to 8, 7, 6. So he's back at 6. He can't put that on top either. This is a real... I just need to work out this move. I can play Haughty out, which is a rush. I can rush his life down. Or I can play out Oden, which is a double swing. And if he dies, I play something else out. It's either the Izzo or the Akiku. And we're at 9, so 7, drop that out, go down to 2 life, kill that off, and do 2 attacks? Maybe. Alright, 7k lead. 8, 9. We'll drop. Wait for this turn. We'll drop Haughty out. I'm going to attack here for 3. We'll attack here for 9. And we'll attack here for 7. That was a risky move. Got quite a few attackers, but I'm vulnerable at the same time. I've got rid of 3 rushes off the board so far. There's another rush. So I'm going to use that. Trash a Wano. Bring it back to 6. Resolve. So he needs to put another Don to make it 7 to put it back to life. But then we know that's a non-counter to life. We've got 1, 2, 3 attacks. So we can probably distribute the Don. Oh, we'll go 4 if we can get that one working. But comfortably 3. He's going to bring it back out. Interesting. No block. I think we can have it this on our next turn. I think we've got the game. But he's plus 2,000, so he's at 7. Draw. Draw on. Okay, so he's at 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we'll attack 11. We'll attack 10. And we'll attack 10 again. Did we get the win? Woo, we got the win. Okay. Go Oden. We've still got 2 life left, which were 2 different types of Yamato. Yes, I do have the double attack banish one in here. I think this deck actually runs pretty decent. Thanks for stopping by, guys, and I'll catch us all on the next one.